Với ông Patrick McNeal, chính những người công nhân này là những chuyên gia trong ngành chứ không phải là những người lãnh đạo như ông. Đó là lý do ông luôn định hướng cho ONP Việt Nam có được một chế độ quản lý và chăm sóc tốt nhất cho nhân viên của mình. Ngoài thu nhập thì đời sống tinh thần là điều được ban lãnh đạo ONP Việt Nam quan tâm hàng đầu.
Hoặc là công nhân đi thì mỗi tháng 3 tháng lần mình cho gạo, tuy là một món quà rất là nhỏ nhưng mà đã làm cho một người công nhân có một cái tinh thần thoải mái, và anh em đặc biệt là công nhân ở công ty của mình làm việc tính chất rất là đồng đội.
Mà ở đây thì mình có một cái văn hóa là mình gặp gỡ công nhân mỗi một tháng một lần, thì công nhân sẽ có thể nói ra những cái ý kiến của họ liên quan tới những cái vấn đề như là cơm, hay là cái cách quản lý của cái người quản lý là không được hài lòng, hoặc là họ đưa ra những cái sáng kiến cải tổ cho công ty mang lại nhiều lợi ích.
Đây là điều làm nên sự khác biệt hiếm có của một doanh nghiệp do người ngoại quốc đứng đầu tại Việt Nam. Dường như mọi dịp đặc biệt trong năm, ONP Việt Nam đều tạo ra không gian thư giãn giải trí cho người lao động của mình. Bởi ông Patrick McNeal khẳng định đây chính là chính sách tốt nhất khiến người lao động nhận thấy được sự quan tâm của doanh nghiệp và hăng say cống hiến hết mình cho từng sản phẩm.
Chào mừng quý vị đang vẫn theo dõi cùng chúng tôi chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam, và vị khách mời của chương trình Tôi Việt Nam ngày hôm nay là ông Patrick McNeal, là Tổng Giám đốc của công ty gỗ ONP Việt Nam, và chúng ta sẽ tìm hiểu nhiều hơn về những trải nghiệm của ông trong suốt thời gian ông làm việc tại Việt Nam. Welcome back, Mr. Patrick McNeal. Now a little bit about your family. How are they, and are they moving here with you, or you're here all alone?
I'm here all by myself. It's I have two boys, and they're both in their 40s and have their own families.
And they're in the United States.
Yes.
Do you feel lonely at all?
Oh, I have no time to be lonely.
Okay, that's good, because work keeps you busy, right?
Yeah, I have a family of about 200 employees, and they keep me occupied all the time.
Sure. So one of the challenges that you have just shared with us before is about the communication between you and your employees, and now gladly that you have overcome most of it, because most of your employees can speak directly to you using English. Any other disadvantages at all about Vietnamese labor force?
I guess one of the big challenges that I had when I first started here, and of course I didn't understand it was the challenge for several years, is growing up in the United States. There are certain things that we take for granted because it's been around us for years. We've been an industrial nation for roughly 200 years. And you don't realize it when you grow up in that, but you learn certain things as a child that you know all the way through your life. And you assume that everybody else all around the world also knows those same things. And when I came to Vietnam and started working in the factory, I realized soon that was not a correct assumption. That Vietnam has only been an industrial country for just a few years. So there's a lot of things that people are just now learning for the first time. For example, like the idea that a factory has to start at a specific time, and people need to all be there and ready to work at a certain time, and they have to come to work every day, and everybody else depends on them. So if they don't, it hurts the whole company. That's a concept that people, aren't born with. They don't know that, so they got to learn it. And it follows through, not making any compromises in your quality standards. Making sure that you meet your commitments and your deadlines. Those are all critically important when you're running a manufacturing plant, and that's the thing that the employees have to learn.
Now, so basically your life nowadays is to work with your employees almost every day, and you have to interact and communicate with them. So you mentioned that one of the things that considered not really good about Vietnamese workers is that they follow authorities, they follow their bosses' decisions. So at ONP Vietnam, how did you create the culture?
Yeah, well, it's an ongoing effort. It's hard to break somebody's habits that they've been immersed in all their life. And I've always told my employees I want them to do exactly what I say 100% of the time, except for when I'm wrong. And then I want them to convince me that I'm wrong. And that's what we work at. I spend more time educating people probably than anything else. We have employee meetings for all of our employees on a monthly basis. We talk about the business aspects of running a business in detail. So you can go to any production employee and they understand why a company needs to make profit, and they understand what the expenses are to run a company, and they understand the need to cut costs, which a lot of people don't know that, but our people do, because we talk about it all the time. We're always talking about improving soft skills like communication skills and organization skills and things like that. And that all helps people to do better. But at the end of the day, the important thing to remember is that the people that are doing a specific job are the experts. So you have to stand back and you got to let them make decisions. And sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But overall, it's better for the company if they're making decisions. So you have to be willing to let people make mistakes.
Well, it seems that you care a lot for your workers and for your colleagues, people around you. And especially, we all know that wood manufacturing is an industry that considerably very harmful to your health. So what do you think is best to overcome these concerns?
Well, first off, I don't know that's true.
Really?
Yeah, trees are generally considered to be good for the environment, and wood is made from trees. That's not what the problem is. The problem is that people don't have good manufacturing processes, and they put dust in the air, and then people breathe the dust. They mix the wood with adhesives, and then they do machining operations, and they breathe the fumes.
Yes.
And that's what the problem is. The wood itself is inert, and it doesn't create a health issue.
It's that working environment.
So it's the environment. And that is back in when we had the rep office, and I used to visit factories. That was always one of the things that I noticed, is that factories were always dirty, and they didn't have good dust collection systems. They didn't have the hoods to suck up fumes away from the workers. They didn't wear dust masks. And when we started our factory, we set it up, to U.S. standards, and we have a good dust collection system with the right kind of dust bags to control the dust. We have the exhaust fans to suck up the fumes away from the finishing material, and we provide the safety equipment for our workers as just part of life. It's part of the job.
Well, and it's certainly true that because I have visited a lot of wood manufacturer, and then they're all very dusty, very noisy, the working environment, and I myself feel very uncomfortable coming in there. But it's good that you have good procedure and good of protection ways that protect the health of the workers. So now, talking more about your business in Vietnam, and as far as I know, the many wood production companies here have to import woods from overseas, like from Thailand or Malaysia. Is that a fact also at your company?
Well, when we started our factory in 2010, we used about 20% of our materials were purchased locally and 80% were purchased overseas. And now it's just the reverse. 80% of our materials are purchased locally and 20% from overseas.
Why is that? Because Vietnam, we don't have enough woods?
Well, our goal is to buy 100% from Vietnam, and I've worked hard with my purchasing department to try to do that. I'm a strong believer that it's better for us and it's better for Vietnam if we can use local materials.
True.
The problem we run into is that some of the materials, there just isn't a company that produces the level of quality that we need. I'm hoping that sometime in the future, a company will set themselves up to produce good enough quality, then we'll buy it locally.
Mr. McNeal, we would like to take a short break here, and when Vietnam and I returns, I'd like to know more about yourself and your plan in Vietnam in the future. Thank you. Và thưa quý vị, trong phần tiếp theo của chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam ngày hôm nay thì chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục trò chuyện với ông Patrick McNeal về những kế hoạch cũng như những định hướng của ông trong cuộc sống riêng cũng như là trong công việc tại thị trường Việt Nam. Xin mời quý vị tiếp tục giữ kênh.